I just saved that without showing you, but you can go up here and hit the save button, and it'll ask you to name something, and I call it extruded tube, although it was a swept tube, whatever we want to call it. There it is. But say I want to play around with some other things. Another way to work is with the create form, which can be there, or, so this is, instead of working from a drawing, you're starting, here I can click there, you're starting with a solid. So let's click the box, and we can choose where to put our box, on which picture plane. It's kind of like doing a sketch, and you make this kind of shape, and it kind of gets you there, and you can kind of play with it this way a little bit, continue to play with it, kind of add sections to it so it's got more detail, make it more complicated, take up more memory, but we'll just hit OK. You can go over under modify and edit form, and then choose either a point, so I can start to pull on these points and pull them out and change the shape of it, or I can pull on a whole line here and I can pull that out, or I can click on, I double clicked on that one, it kind of assumed that I wanted that all together, and I can pull this out. So you can kind of decide how you want it to work in different modes and stuff like that. Free for all is kind of the middle one that I usually kind of use. So hit OK, whatever that is. I can hit finish form, and then I come back into the regular space, regular design space, and I could try to make this hollow, because right now I believe it should be a solid. I can't see inside of it. So I'm going to shell it, and then I'm going to select a body, and then when I use the arrow on this, it seems to be very sensitive. It jumped right to 10, and I think it smushed the inside. Blah 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 blah. So I don't know why it's jumping to 10. Maybe my mouse is just too sensitive. So I'm going to go to 5, and that seems okay. So sometimes the arrow thing, maybe the mouse is finicky, or maybe it's my computer. So right now it should have a shell. It should be a shell form. But how do I know? And why would I have made it into a shell if I'm just going to have this thing? Well, what I can do to deal with that is, so let's go home so I can see where I am. Alright, and I can use a construction plane. These get really interesting if you get into these. But I can select an offset plane, and actually I'm going to look at the top, and I'm going to try to select an offset. I could select that plane, but I want to select an offset plane, so then it lets me select that. Sometimes you can select parts of things that have flat planes. I could have done, but I don't think this thing has a flat plane. I'm going to move this in, and I can just kind of see it, the little orange line there, and I'm trying to pull that in. It's probably not centered, but neither is my thing. Maybe right about there. What the heck? We'll go with it. I'm going to use that as a tool to split it in half. So that's the idea. So I'm going to hit OK, and then we're going to look at it like this. Maybe not. Maybe we'll look at it like this. Home again. There we go. Okay. And I'm going to go to modify and split body, because this is a body I have here. So I hit split body, and first I want to choose a body, so it's prompting me to select by having it blue. I click that. Now the whole thing is blue. Now the only problem is it's really hard to, I'm going to hit select, and I could have, I'm kind of curious to see what will happen if I hit that, but I don't want to do that. I want to hit, have it, see that? I've highlighted that offset plane that I put in there, and I'm going to click that, and now it's given me this cut kind of line. Okay, so it's a little off. But anyway, for this demonstration, we'll just go OK. So that's my splitting tool. So I selected that. I could have selected a different plane or put a different plane in there. It'd be different. Now I got this line down the middle, and things are separated. So we can move just to prove it to ourselves. Select, set the sketch objects. I'm going to hit select bodies again. So now I can select this body, and I can pull it away. And now you can see that it's a separate part. Okay? So that, and then I can go, okay, and I can play around with them more, I can do more stuff, add things, extrude, cut, experiment with some of these tools, just try it out. And then again, you're coming at this from a sculptural point of view, but a simple kind of design thing. Play with it a little bit, see if it's something you're comfortable with, and then like if you want to delve into it more, start taking those tutorials that they can be really dry and they can be kind of slow. So I mean, for me, being able to play with it a little bit first is more interesting than say just trying to follow around the instructions. Anyway, but do go back to the instructions because there's a lot of things that you can do. If you want to export for 3D printing, you can go up to File, and I mean you can also save as or export. And if you export, you could export it as an STL file that can print. But if your shapes, let's cancel, are kind of oddly arranged, you get them spread all over the place, it's kind of nice to print them, export them as sort of separate files. So if I go back up here and I go to 3D print, it lets me select one. I just want the output to be the STL. It's giving me 0, so we're just going to say OK. And then it's going to give me save as body thing to the desktop. And hopefully, somewhere, I have a body STL on my desktop now that I can then upload into, for us, MakerBot. Anyway, that should give you enough to play with the fusion360. And if it's burning you out, go back to Tinkercad. Next time, or next class, we'll probably go over the Sculpt GL and the ZBrush Core Mini. All right, have fun.